Leviticus 1. The Lord gave instructions to Moses for the people to follow when they give burnt offerings. The Lord said that when a burnt offering is presented, it must either be cattle from the herd, or a goat or sheep from the flock. And if they will give cattle, it must be a male with no defects, and it must be brought to the entrance of the tabernacle. The person must lay his hand on the animal's head, and God will purify him by accepting the death of the animal in the place of the man. It must then be slaughtered in God's presence, and Aaron's sons will splatter the animal's blood at the sides of the altar. It must then be skinned and cut into pieces. Aaron's sons must then build a wood fire on the altar, and then arrange the pieces of the offering on the wood burning on the altar. But the legs and the internal organs must be washed with water first, and right after the priest will finally burn the entire sacrifice on the altar as a burnt offering. However, if either a goat or a sheep is presented as a burnt offering, it must still be a male with no defects. The animal must be slaughtered on the north side of the altar, and then Aaron's sons will splatter the blood against all the altar sides. Similar to the cattle, the animal must then be cut into pieces, and the priest will arrange the different parts of the offering on top of the wood burning on the altar. But the legs and the internal organs must first be washed with water, before the priest finally burns the entire sacrifice as a burnt offering. However, if a bird is presented as a burnt offering instead, it must be either a turtle dove or a young pigeon. The priest will take the bird to the altar and wring off the head. The blood must then be drained against the sides of the altar. The crop and the feathers must also be removed and thrown in the ashes on the east side of the altar. Then, while spreading the wings of the bird, the priest must carefully cut the bird open without ripping its body apart. Then it will finally be sacrificed as a burnt offering on the wood burning on the altar. These burnt offerings are special gifts, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. And that's Leviticus 1.